Yo, welcome to another Speaker Geeker podcast. I'm your host, Steve, along with my host brethren. I'm going to start saying that. Host brethren. G
Brethren.
and Tommy T. What's up, y'all, man? How y'all doing?
What's happening?
What's up?
Hey, you remember when what's happening was like the phrase that everybody used?
Yeah.
What's happening?
What's happening?
I was on that Fabo back in the day, wasn't
Right.
What's up?
Hey, Fabo, I miss Fabo. That was some energy that was just some different energy right there, man. Fabo. Wherever you at, Fabo, man, shout outs to you.
Bro,
that man was just unique, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
His voice was so different.
His ending on that song is epic, bro. Yeah. When he just started going off.
Yeah.
That man killed that thing. And then gave us such a harmony at the end. When it was just ending, they fade him out.
Yeah.
It was like, oh man, that man going in. So,
nigga,
yeah, man.
Spaceships on Bankhead is my shit.
Oh yeah,
I'm starting to see spaceships on Bankhead.
Oh, his ad libs.
It's a whistle that comes in there from somewhere.
Man.
Hey, Jeezy ripped that mud too.
Yeah, I was gonna say then the Jeezy cat.
Jeezy come high in the motherfucker right now. I'll shoot a nigga dead in the shit right now. I was like, Jeezy, come down, man. He forgot who he was. I'm like, bro, you got too much money to do that right now, man.
Right.
Calm down. He was like, I'll shoot a nigga dead.
Right now.
Like, right now.
Not tomorrow, nigga. Right now.
Oh man.
That was a good time for music, man.
Oh, for real. Bruh, did y'all hear about Kamala Harris
saying Tupac is the greatest of all
rapper alive?
No, she said the greatest rapper alive.
Oh yeah, she did say that.
Yeah.
Which
hey, that's
I mean, people still think Pac is alive.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that angle.
The fact that she said Pac is the greatest, and to each his own. For me, he's not. But
because he's not alive.
I'm just saying he wasn't. He like if I had it. Okay, let's take the alive part out.
Okay,
let's say the greatest rapper. In my book, he wouldn't be the greatest rapper. Is he a great storyteller? Of course.
Yeah. But
the greatest rapper to me. I would probably say Jay-Z, 3 Stacks. I can't really just say, this is one rapper, but Pac wouldn't be in that list, for me. I still like Pac. I like the message behind what he was rapping about now that I'm older, but I like Biggie more than I like Pac, and I always associate them two together.
Yeah. And
it's hard for me to not associate them together, even though they were two very different rappers. You know what I'm saying? So, but I think it's amazing that she can actually say, "Hey, I listen to I don't believe that she listens to rap like we do, but I don't think she
from the
listens
West Coast, bro.
Bro, we listen to rap.
What you think she's sitting around doing?
She listens to old school.
When she get home and she off the camera and she in the house,
I don't know, man.
Hit them up, come on. She probably know every single word.
I don't know, man.
I know she ain't sitting around listening to them. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised.
I think she does listen to, her radio station wouldn't be an AM station. It would probably be V103 or something like that for us. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't be the what is it, 105 something. I don't even know the radio stations down here except V103. And you got 107.9. But like the oldie station, I don't think she would just solely listen to that. That'd probably be number 1, but the hip hop and R&B station would probably be number 2. So, but I thought that was cool though, man. I thought that was really cool of her. But and funny at the same time because Tupac is considered to be dead for 2 decades now, I believe. So some people do believe that Tupac's still alive. It is a Tupac impersonator. He's I think he may be Filipino, or he's Latin. What the Hispanic, right? Or Latin? He's a brother. I don't know, man. He's different. He's not a black guy, but he's definitely impersonating. It's funny, man, because I saw it on Freddie Gibbs' story. Like basically, he was like going to weddings doing Tupac songs.
No, not him. He ain't the one that that was the dude that was getting married, I think. It
wasn't the dude that was getting married. He actually that's a business of his.
Oh well. But it's another dude that looks exactly like Pac. That people always see and take pictures. Like the dude you saw, the Mexican Filipino dude singing at the weddings. Bump him. It's another dude that look exactly like Pac.
Oh yeah,
like literally.
I ain't seen him.
That they catch pictures of all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Man, that's crazy though, man. I think all this stuff is I mean, they keeping this legend alive, so it's cool. Let's talk about this Tory Lanez thing real quick, man. Just going to get it out here on the table. This album that Tory Lanez came, like before the album dropped, he posted on, I want to say on Instagram that, hey, my side of the story is going to be told at 9. I didn't watch like whatever it was.
I didn't catch the live or whatever that was.
Yeah, I didn't watch that. But he came out with this album to rebut or tell his side of the story of what happened. I don't think that's a good way to do things like that. Like Steve said, the album, like the songs I listened to, I liked them, and my conscience got to me, so I couldn't finish it. But I'm gonna finish it because I think he's aside from everything, removing the artist and the person, and just strictly going off his art, I think he's a great artist. You know what I'm saying? He's very talented in what he does, but I don't know the story inside and out, but from what we heard, he shot her. I mean, I don't know how many people to be cool with them being shot by somebody they trusted, and then just be like, I'm gonna just make this up. I'm gonna be cool with you after that. So, I just have an issue with him shooting a woman. And then
this the thing, right?
That's what I want you to do, Steve. Jump on in and tell me what I'm missing.
Because we've only heard it from her.
Yeah.
And I don't want to call her a liar or anything, but we've only heard it from her.
Sound like you calling her a liar. Sound like you calling her a liar.
I'm just pointing the facts. We've only heard it from her.
Yeah. So what reason do we have to believe that she lying?
Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying. We don't know who did what at this point. Tory saying he didn't. She said he did. But no one else around the whole situation has said anything. I mean, it took Meg, 2 months to say it?
Mm-hmm.
And like at this point, I don't know. I just gonna get the case out the way. If he did it, hey, he deserved whatever you get. But at this point, is he say hearsay, and in this age and time, if I can't sit up here and be like, all right, we want the court to not treat us as if we're guilty and have to prove ourselves innocent. So if I don't want the court to do that to me, I can't do that to either one of these folks. So therefore, I kind of leave it at, this whole time it's kind of like, if he did it, then yeah, of course I'm against that. I ain't cool with that. But I'm be honest, I have been I've been lied on a woman has lied on me as well for a certain situation. So I know that, you know, in society, sometimes we flock straight to the woman and be like, oh, she's right. Period. It's done. But, you know what I'm saying? He finally said something. Whether we agree how he said it or not. Like, I don't know if doing an album full was the best way to go. But obviously at this point, something must have broke in the case where now he's saying something. Mm-hmm. I don't know what it is, but all I kind of noticed, and I'm just kind of sitting back looking in, both of them walking around free right now.
Yeah.
So what really happened? You know? To me, I listened to the records on the album. Hey, they were dope. Yeah. I'm sorry, they dope music. And for artists, also, you know, most artists tell their story through their music. So, I mean, I let them tell his story. Hey, it ain't my opinion if it's a bad decision or not. We'll find that out real soon because I'm sure something's going on behind the scenes because, you know, there's lawyers involved, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, I can't completely, like from this day one, the story has sound weird. And I can't completely be like, yeah, he shot her. Mm-hmm. And I can't completely be like, nah, he didn't. So I'm just going to enjoy the music until, you know, somebody get convicted or something is, you know, over with. Because at this point, that whole story is a mess.
Right.
I don't know what's going on anymore. Right. Did she get shot or did she not? Because from my understanding, it's easy to tell if someone shot you. They're going to take the ballistics from the bullet that you got hit with, match it with the gun that he supposedly had, and that should be open and shut case.
Yeah. We just saw Breonna Taylor shit this week, and that shit didn't happen either.
Well, those were white police. I'm sure if it was a black crime, they're going to throw the book at us quick. And that's a whole nother thing that, that's a whole nother discussion. So hopefully we talk that on Let's Discuss. If y'all haven't heard our new show that's coming. So
no, they haven't heard it.
Well, they heard it here.
Just for the first time.
For the first time.
They heard it here first. We got a new show called Let's Discuss. That'll be coming soon. Hopefully coming soon. But, you know, and we may talk about it here. But for me, I try to, if I don't want, I can't sit up here and be like, you know, like, I can't be like, I don't like how the court, you know, pretty much calls us guilty and we have to prove our innocence. Then I can't do the same thing to these two. Mm-hmm. So, you know, it's three sides to a story, you know, their side, his side, and then there's the truth. So hopefully we get the truth soon. But, you know, I just want everybody to be careful because if it comes out that he didn't, then we got a whole different discussion. And everybody's like, what? You know, like Ross actually came out and said something about Tory. J.R. Smith did as well. Bun B did too. And, you know, on this album, Tory does talk about, man, right now we're in a time where, you know, Black lives and all this. But yet you know, you're saying this and that about me, and that's why I try to like be careful because I'm like, I don't know the story. Bun wasn't there, Ross wasn't there, J.R. Smith wasn't there. We know it was more people there because obviously it was a car full of folks. Mm-hmm. So, you know, man, I don't know. I can't say we're guilty or not.
I'm just saying, man, he's accused of it. And the first thing he says about it is, I'm putting out some music to respond to it. Like, say something. If I say you robbed me, right? And I put everything on you and then you don't say anything to rebut it, to stand up for yourself, what sense does that make?
Well, it depends.
Why allow me to defame your character, drag you through the mud? Because I think at first they were saying like he was saying something different at first, and reason why she didn't say nothing for a long time.
No, they were trying to say that his publicist and stuff was putting out stuff in the media about it, but they actually came out and said that they didn't do none of that, which is interesting because it's like, you know, everybody keeps saying that something's happening, but you know, they came, and who knows, they could be lying, but they came out and said, no, we didn't put none of them stories out there.
Yeah.
And then, you know, when it comes to that point, like, we don't know if it's in due process, if the lawyers are working. Because, you know, we got to remember, she didn't say nothing for a while.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, she didn't say nothing for a minute either.
Yeah.
And then he hadn't said nothing for a long time. And, you know, reading the article earlier, there are lawyers involved at the moment. Yeah. Like, there's something going on for sure.
Yeah. I mean, we'll find out eventually.
I would think at some point, folks couldn't talk about it. Because he even says it on the album. He's like, shoot, it was a case. I couldn't talk about it.
Right.
Yeah, he says it in one of the bars. So I was like, that makes sense. I mean, you know, you got a case going, they'll tell you. Don't, you know, you don't need to talk about it, blah, blah, blah. So it's interesting because, you know, I want the truth. Will we ever get it? Who knows? But at this moment, I don't know what's going on. And I know I wasn't there.
No, I wasn't there either.
And all I can say is, hey, whoever's guilty will, you know, this shouldn't be something that's drawn out. If it was done to her, then I'm sure he'll get whatever his just due is. But, you know, if it's not, we got an entire different discussion. Because I wasn't expecting him to be like, I didn't do it.
I was like,
well, I wasn't because
I'm not guilty until you prove that I'm guilty, nigga.
But that's the thing, though. It seems so cut. It seems so cut and clear. You know, once she was like, he did it, and everybody was like, well, they were together. I think he was arrested with a gun, with a possession of a gun too.
Yeah.
So it seemed so simple. He was like, I hope he
like
didn't.
He would have.
And it seemed like, well, not that he would have, seemed that he did it.
He did, yeah.
Because there was,
he had the tools
everything
to actually do it.
Yeah, but the fact that, you know, he's not locked up at this current moment, and I mean, yeah, you can post bail, but the fact that he's just kind of walking around and he's confident in saying he didn't do it.
OJ was too now, so
but OJ didn't.
Man, OJ did that, man.
Nah, I mean, I'm sure. I don't know. I'm sure like, maybe so.
Like if OJ, I don't know. It's off topic. If OJ didn't do it, he knew somebody. He knew, like he's involved somehow.
And that's what I'm saying. Like there's other people that were there.
Yeah,
clearly.
So, Tory was involved somehow.
Everyone was involved. Even Meg. Like, what happened?
She got shot. Okay, yeah, so are we arguing that she didn't get shot?
No, I don't know. I honestly, I don't know because it's, you know, I really don't know. I don't know, like, you know, if you get shot in the foot, how long it takes to recover. I don't have a clue. I ain't never been shot in the foot.
Never been shot.
I know folks who've been shot and, you know, they go to the hospital and they actually come home a little quicker, but they ain't the same.
Yeah.
So I don't, you know, was it a ricochet and she got grazed? Was it that she actually got shot point blank? Did she get shot at all? Like, who the hell knows at this point?
Yeah.
We just know that Tory said he didn't.
And
Meg said that he did. And you got a ton of people in the middle that aren't saying anything.
Yeah. Man.
So at this point, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to shut up. I'm not going to say who did what, when, and why. Because quite frankly, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't want to be the person to put my foot in my mouth.
Hey,
you know?
Man. It happens.
Yeah.
So, we'll see.
I understand that. I can understand not wanting to be the person to put your foot in your mouth. But I can care less. Like, if I put my foot in my mouth or not, I can take that bitch back out.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay. Like, I feel like in this situation where you got somebody talking about they were shot, and before this album came out, nobody was questioning the nature of whether or not this woman got shot. It was like, okay, she got shot. We just don't know who did it.
Yeah.
And then like as of late, as of the last couple of days, the last 48 to 72 hours since the album has dropped, it has turned into this spectacle of was she even shot at all? As if like that changes over time. Like if I get shot 2 weeks later, now it's like I didn't get shot. No, I did still get shot. So my thing is, if it's a couple people in a car, one of the people in the car gets shot, and then nobody wants to take the blame. Of course nobody wants to take the blame because nobody wants to get in trouble. At the same time, like nobody is even saying like I ain't do it until now. Right. Where it's like in album form, monetized. Yeah. I feel like that's disrespectful to the situation. That's very
disrespectful.
I feel like if somebody got shot, nigga, call a press conference, make a fucking tweet, do whatever the fuck you gotta do, but you don't fucking monetize your side of the story. Like that's foul. Even if you didn't do it, that's foul as hell. It's like, don't fucking profit off of my pain, nigga. Like that's not how we do this shit. Right. You don't get to come in and be like, I'm gonna make a story about this shit and make some money off of it. You don't get to do that. But yeah, if he did or didn't shoot her, I don't know. Like you said, Steve, I wasn't there. But I don't have any reason not to believe what Megan Thee Stallion is saying because I don't know her that well for her to have a reason to lie to me or not to lie to me. So I'm like, if she says something, I from the jump would have to just say, oh, okay. Like, the fuck happened? And if you tell me what happened, I'm like, okay, I guess that's what happened. And then the same thing with Tory Lanez. Like, if you ain't said, I don't really have a reason to believe or not believe you either. And so if you come back and you like, I didn't do it, then yeah, it's gonna confuse me. I'm like, all right, I don't know neither one of you niggas. And both of y'all saying two different things. Yeah. I'm inclined just from my own history, just to believe the person who got hurt. Because I'm like, this nigga is crying out for like, I got hurt, rather than to believe the person who's being necessarily accused. And like, yes, you can put your foot in your mouth that way and be like, damn, it wasn't even that person. But I could always be like, my bad, Tory, and keep it moving. Like, I'm not hurting him to be like, she said you shot her. Like, it's your job to come in and be like, no, I didn't. Like, I ain't shoot that girl. Right. And I would have been like, all right, cool. Like, if it was like the same day type shit, like she was like, he shot me. And then he was like, no, I didn't. Then I'd be like, okay, this some bullshit. Y'all niggas is gone somewhere. Right. Get away from me. I don't want nothing to do with this shit. But when it's like long and drawn out the way you're saying, and then people are strategically planning to make money off of the story and shit, that's when it starts to get to the point of like, all right, what the fuck going on? And I really don't have much else to say other than just like, I feel like Tory foul for the way that he moved on the shit. Even if he didn't do it, you shouldn't have done the fucking album about it. Like, did you not have any other songs in the took to make an album? And you took this shit to make an album that fast? Like, I've already written an entire album about this shit that quickly. I feel like as soon as she accused him, he started writing. It was like,
he probably did.
Now I can go ahead and,
well, actually, he probably did it beforehand. Ain't no telling when he did it.
Yeah, but I don't know, because I've also seen him get into a rap battle with Joyner Lucas and go back and forth really, really fast. So I think he has the ability to write things quickly. I don't think he needed a lot of time. I think it's just he didn't have a reason to write the shit before she came out and said what she said. And then it was like, oh, okay, well, I'll write my side of the story. And then my thing also is like, if nigga, if you didn't do it, who the fuck did?
Right, somebody did.
That's my thing.
Somebody shot. And why does she think you did it? Like, what is making her say that it was you? Why does she think that it was you?
And the crazy,
and that's the part of the story that I haven't heard. Is like, why, as Tory Lanez, if I'm the person being accused, like, why does she even think it was me? Mm-hmm. Yeah, like, what makes her think I shot her of all people?
And I'm with you on that, G. I do wish she wouldn't have like released the album on it. Even though I like the records.
It doesn't
but
matter.
I wish that he didn't
or not.
do it
that
way.
Like the greatest album of all time, but it's still a fact.
See, I figured that, he was talking on the IG Live and then the album comes. I didn't even see that part. So I wish he wouldn't have done the album part because it does, that doesn't really help your situation. But even on the album, he does like the thing about the album is he ain't on there calling her no wanks, no hoe, no none of that. He's still even like, hey, if we can reconcile, I still would love to, be with you. And at that point, I was like, wait, what? Okay. I don't know what's going on now. Because even in that sense, he ain't like, he's not really, he went after everyone else talking. Yeah. But for her, he even says that, he would still love to, be a friend, so on and so forth. So,
like, in spite of what, nigga? Like, I still love you and I'll still be your friend in spite of what? If I ain't do shit to you and there ain't no situation for you to address, what are you still in love with me in spite of?
I guess in spite of being accused.
Still loving me in spite of other people's reaction to the accused?
Well, I guess it's in spite of her saying that he did it. Even though she said he did it, he's still like... Be having with her. He should be saying like, why you think I did it? Well, I'm sure at this point there is no conversation between them two. I'm sure it's all lawyer talk. Yeah. But I am with y'all on as far as releasing the album. I think it's ill time. Yeah, it definitely is. But do I think this story has gotten way out of control? Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Because at this point, I think anybody who's talking who isn't a part of the situation, well, not anybody. I'm not gonna say that. I think certain artists who are like chipping in, I don't think they have a natural concern for anyone. I think they trying to get their face out there as well. Like, I don't know what the hell. Ross has no has no ties to this. Bun, he's from Texas. Yeah. It makes sense. Whole Texas is riding with her, period.
Yeah.
But Ross had absolutely no reason to say anything. It's kind of at that point.
I feel like that shit was foul too, though, honestly.
Absolutely.
He had his fucking bottles all in the damn video with his tags for whatever the shit he working on trying to make money out of. But that's my own reservations about Rick Ross anyway. I feel like he's not the most genuine person. But
no, not at all.
It's just...
But
that's just what he do.
Yeah, I think this has just become a messy situation. And like I said, if he did it, he get what he deserved. If not, then we got a whole nother story. Because then the question is who? Tori even said that the rumors are because Tori even said the rumors of the best friend doing it, shooting her isn't true. So then it's like, okay, who's left in there?
Yeah, it's like, nigga, how many people can fit in the car?
I mean, they went like a Suburban?
Like I seen the video when the police came and pulled them over and shit, and everybody had to get out the car. It looked like it was 3 or 4 people in the car. And I'm like, if one nigga got shot and 2 niggas didn't do it, it's 1 nigga left.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. So I just want to know, and is who did it, and if she's gonna get her closure from the situation. But if not, then Meg, I don't know, Meg. And at this point, besides Scooby-Doo, I don't know who's gonna solve this thing. But we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Pretty much.
I think the story is very important, just because a lot of times our Black women aren't protected, in their families, in the legal system, in the world. This last situation with Breonna Taylor, I have to mention it just because it's affecting me in a way that I'm disappointed in America, because we say something about, like, I don't agree with what happened. Nobody is held accountable for her death. I don't care if you arrest a boyfriend or arrest the cops. Somebody needs to go to jail for killing this woman, because she was an innocent bystander. You got the wrong house, so something needs to happen, and nothing is has happened. So I feel like the justice system has failed her and failed us as Americans. But in saying that, we have to do stuff. We have to be intentional, and we have to protect our families, our people, and we have to know what's going on. The people around us, like Black, white, Mexican, Native, whoever else we got in this country, we are brothers and sisters. We have to protect each other for this system, this justice system that we live in. So for that to happen, and then for us to be able to go online and people question things about what happened, like, it's infuriating. LeBron James said something about it, and one of the comments below it was somehow they talked about how they talked about him and not the situation that happened. And it's infuriating just because it's like, it's not about LeBron James. It's not that he said something. He has a platform to say something, to draw attention to. That's what he's supposed to do. You have a platform, you say something that you don't think is right. Let the people, let people know, because more people are going to hear about it. It's not right. But for people to attack him for saying something that's wrong, for people to attack people for saying something that they believe in, is wrong. Both sides. Even if I don't believe in anything that you guys are saying, you still have a right to say something. So it's infuriating to see people try to silence people, especially when it's things that I believe in. Yeah. Because I believe that there has not been justice for Breonna Taylor, just because nobody has been held accountable for her killing. And so we have to, as human beings, as American brothers and sisters, we have to know and understand the other side. Know and understand, like, if something is not right or seems not to be right, no matter the color, but it seems not to be right, and you have this uproar because you have to be blind not to see what's going on outside. You have to be completely blind not to see it. And for you to want to attack somebody that's standing for what's going on outside, you're the problem. And I think that's what's going on in America today, that we have that issue. So go vote. Justice for Breonna Taylor. And that's all I got on that. Y'all can add something if you want to or not, but that's all I got.
I'm just gonna leave it right there.
Okay.
Honestly, I don't really
like that's.
I got my thoughts on it, but
it's really frustrating, bro. It's really frustrating. That's all I gotta say.
It's extremely frustrating, man. It is. It sucks.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's gonna sound crazy, but I'm not surprised anymore.
No, it's not shocking. It's not shocking. But nobody has been held accountable.
We even discussed it in our group chat and I was like, I got a feeling they're gonna get off just because that law was in effect at that time, and that's their loophole. So,
yeah,
there you have it. But at this point, I mean,
it doesn't surprise me.
Not just Breonna Taylor, but if we go through the rest of the names, I don't know.
It's just crazy.
I'm not surprised anymore.
I just think that it's a spit in the face. I think that
sure.
the way that it turned out, because I think it could have been done. We could still be having this same conversation, saying, "Oh, okay, these folks got off," without it being the specific details that exist right now. The details of 2 officers not being charged with anything, but 1 being charged with shooting a wall and endangering neighbors when you obviously killed somebody in the place that you were shooting. I think that's the spit in the face part. It's just like, not only are we not going to charge anybody for this, but then we going to put out some bullshit just so we can show y'all that we don't care that much.
Absolutely.
And I feel like it's kind of passive aggressive. It's like, fuck y'all niggas, we don't care nothing about y'all. I don't know. It's infuriating, like Tommy said. That's a good word. It makes me. I don't know. It's terrible. It makes you. It brings out the worst in you. Mm-hmm. I've heard several people this week say, like after the verdict was delivered, and then like they had the protest that night in Louisville, and I think a couple officers were shot. And I heard several people say, I have no feelings of anything about it. Like I could care less that those people were shot. And I was like, damn, bro, like that shit is bringing out the worst in us to where we have to go to the place of where we have to go to that place, basically, because that's a place that people just avoid at all costs. At all costs. Trying to go there. Like you just avoid that at all costs, because I've always said when people ask me stuff like, people ask you like, what's your biggest fear? Like one of my biggest fears is that I lose my mind and like I'm not able to like take care of myself and shit. And then the other one is that I come to the logical conclusion that the world would be better off without you in it. And then I would not be opposed to being the person to take you out. Yeah. Like those are my two biggest fears in the world, is that I have to go to either one of those places. A place of insanity where I have no control over my mind or my actions, and then a place of calculated murder. Mm-hmm. Where it's like, this was on purpose. Like, and like you go to court, like not even trying to plead innocent. Like I didn't do it. It's like, no, I did. It was on purpose.
And I'm not laughing at that, but I totally get it, man.
And I'm with you like that, with that, and I'm gonna try to tie this in together. But there was a lady that was on a plane talking to a lady, and she told her that, that we don't teach hate in our household, and that's a fact, because we actually, a lot of us don't. Mm-hmm. And no matter what has happened over the years that has happened from the opposite race, we still don't teach our kids to hate. Yeah. Yep. But we have seen it where, they teach their folks to hate us. Yeah. Just because of our skin color, which till this day I think is the stupidest thing in the world.
It's the dumbest thing in the world, man.
So what you were saying is spot on, because if we were to go to that place, what would happen? And it kind of tie this in together with what I'm going to say. Me, I really believe our response has to change. Marching in the street is cool, but marching goes back so many years, and it'll change some things, but it doesn't change everything. Our response, if we're going to continue, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again. Yeah. So marching is cool, and marching for multiple days is cool, but it only goes so far. And if you look at history, that is what we've done over and over again. So I really believe that our response to these things have to change. Am I saying go shoot the police or go shoot a Caucasian male or woman? No, I'm not saying that. But we need to figure out a way to change our response. And my homeboy Money Mark has posted a couple times, but until we really understand that marching in the street doesn't hurt anyone. But if we financially take our money out of a lot of things that they have going on, that is really when it hurts. If we begin to unite as one and do these things as a group, because one thing that we like marching in the street is one thing, but if you go back to when they did the bus boycott, they did it collectively. It didn't matter. We ain't riding the bus, you ain't riding the bus. We ain't riding the bus together. And it changed some things.
Yeah.
And it goes back to that common denominator of financial. Because, you know, they tore up all them stores. And granted, actually, it wasn't really most of us that tore up the stores, but you know, they tore up stores and most of those folks just get the insurance money. You know?
Yeah.
But if the day you decided collectively as African Americans, we are not going to purchase this and we won't do it for this amount of time, I guarantee you're gonna hear a different story.
Yeah.
The reason why when the NBA, like at this current moment, I hate that the NBA and the NFL now they want to go kneel because okay, cool, all right, y'all gonna do it now. But when Kaepernick really first brought it up and a couple people started to follow, it was so outlawed and it was such a bad thing. And it was even like, maybe we'll just keep the players in the locker room, this and that. But then you decide to do it. I feel like it's just because you feel like your hand is like it's the new fad and you just want to do it. But the night that the players decided that they weren't going to play, that was, to me, that was more powerful than everyone kneeling together. I don't really want to see y'all kneel together. I feel it would be more powerful if you decide to walk right about the court collectively and call it a day. Because that takes the money out of their pockets.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all don't play no games. Y'all don't get no views. Owners don't get no money. Real quick, everything was cool. Yeah. Let's get this together. And so on and so forth. So I say to say this: our responses to these things need to change, and we need to be a collective front, and we need to do it together. And you know, you can continue to march in the street. Cool. You can flash the guns you got. Hey, we got a militant. Blah blah blah. Cool. But I'm telling you right now, till we figure out where it really hurts, where we really can affect some change, man, you can march till you blue in the face. It's gonna happen again. It's a cycle.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna march. They're gonna get tired. They're gonna stop. We're gonna give them a little bit of what they want. A couple months later, same thing gonna happen again. So, you know, yeah, we gotta change our response. Period.
Yeah.
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 So on another note, I felt like we went down a real rabbit hole there. Still need justice for Breonna Taylor, but I want to go ahead and get into this debate or this conversation about this question. So the question is, what does the debate between Lupe Fiasco and Kendrick Lamar says about rap in 2020? So the first thing I want to get into is the debate between Lupe and Kendrick. I never even thought about them two being a battlefront between each other. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like Cassidy. You know, Cassidy is good, but I just never put him in battle. Like, who's the better rapper or who's the greater, a better rapper. And Cassidy never came up in that conversation for me, which Kendrick and Lupe never came up in that conversation to go against each other. Now, it's been plenty of times I've been like pitting Kendrick against Cole and Wale and Crit and, those group of guys, because I felt like those group of guys were the leaders of this new of hip hop now or rap now.
Contemporaries.
Right.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think, man? Like the debate between Lupe and Kendrick, with the article from Complex that we got this actual conversation from, Lupe said a few things about Kendrick being a better, not a better lyricist, but a better song maker or songwriter or something like that. And when he said that, I was like, the difference is I think Kendrick is he's easier to promote because
they say he makes better songs.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
But
yeah. I think Kendrick is Lupe is put in a box, and Kendrick's box is bigger than Lupe's as far as like the reach he has, and that's what I got from that. And Lupe is basically saying, I'm a better lyricist than him. Never paid attention, so I'm interested to hear what you guys got to say about that.
You want to go first, G?
Man, y'all so polite, man. Would you like it?
Well, let's talk about this thing that you posted in the Slack, Tommy.
What's that?
Where you posted about the lyricism from that complex article that you were just alluding to a second ago. Just this one little paragraph. I'm gonna read this little section. It just says, fans often conflate lyricism with assonance or double meaning alone, but lyricism speaks to a gumbo of factors such as technical rhyming prowess, sustained, metaphor and simile, wordplay, storytelling, and the ability to evoke with simplicity. Examples of strong lyricism can be seen with both the bluntness of a 21 Savage or YG, as well as the wizardry of Lil Wayne or Royce da 5'9". It's evident in lines that hit you like a ton of bricks, as well as bars that fly over your head on first listen. Lyricism can be the gift that shimmers on arrival or begs you to dig for the diamond in the rough. Just about every MC worth a damn excels at some form of lyricism or another. And I thought it was important to read that piece just to kind of give you an idea of, I guess, how broad that word is. Because you get people who say, oh, this rapper is lyrical, this rapper is lyrical. You get that kind of a feel from people sometimes when they're talking about certain rappers. I like this dude because he's lyrical. And it's like, what does lyrical fucking mean? And who are you excluding when you use that word? Because in order for you to use it as a category, you have to be pushing people out to keep people in. And I thought it was important that they listed people like 21 Savage or YG, because I think most of the time you wouldn't think of those niggas as lyricists.
Nope.
You would think of those niggas as just rappers who make songs. But I think that has to do with like elitism in hip hop amongst people who write. And the types of things that they employ when they're using their lyrics, when they're writing their lyrics. So they're using different poetic devices, or they're using a broad vocabulary, or they're using, like they said, assonance, which is just rhyming a bunch of vowel sounds, multisyllabic rhyming and shit like that. But I don't think that's fair. I think what they said in this article, in that little excerpt, was very fair, because it includes a bunch of people and it says how different all of these things can be. And it kind of speaks to what we were talking about with Kendrick Lamar versus Lupe Fiasco, and how Tommy said Kendrick's box is bigger. So it's like we're judging him based on a lot more things than just one area. With Lupe, it's like he kind of is like that nigga in the like lyrical box. Like nigga that is focused on doing everything that he can, like using all of the things that we just talked about in that excerpt as much as possible, as often as possible, like, and continuing to do it for as long as he can. Similar to like a Black Thought or Royce da 5'9" shit, or Eminem or somebody like that. Those people are people who like take their shit seriously, and they are always sitting down writing. That's not to say that like Kendrick Lamar doesn't, because I think that Kendrick Lamar does an excellent job doing the same thing, but I think that he's also burdened with trying to make a song that sounds good to motherfuckers. Like,
he's trying to make a hit.
Yeah, I've heard the same thing from in a different light, from Big Crit being a producer and a rapper, and him talking about like how I'm free to really focus on rapping if I don't produce a beat. If I'm making the beat, that means I got to put all my energy into the beat, then I got to come back to it and try to recapture that energy to write to this motherfucking beat. And it makes me like have to split my talent. But if I'm just making the beat, I can put all my energy into the beat. Then I ain't got to worry about it no more. Somebody else writing on this shit. Or if I'm just writing the lyrics, writing a song to the beat, I don't have to worry about making the beat. I just catch the wave that these niggas already made, and then I just go in and do what I got to do. And I get to do things differently. I get to hear things that I didn't already take care of by making the beat. Like I don't have to entertain you with just words because I already did some of that shit with the beat. And I think that's the same thing with Kendrick. It's like I don't have to do as many things with my words because I'm doing other things with just like my vocal ability. Like Lupe can't do some of the shit that Kendrick can do with his voice. A lot of niggas can't do a lot of shit that Kendrick can do with his voice. That nigga's he has one of the best voices in hip hop because he can do a lot of shit with it. He can go up, he can go down, he can make it sound distorted. He use a lot of effects on it. That's an art in and of itself. That picking beats is another thing. Something that I would say in recent years, I would say Lupe's gotten better with that. But like over the course of his career, if you put it, side by side to Kendrick, you're gonna hear probably better beats that you fuck with on Kendrick projects. Yeah. It's gonna be something that stand out that Lupe had that you'd be like, yeah, I really like that joke. But for the most part, as far as consistency is concerned, you'll hear Kendrick doing a better job with that. And so I think it speaks to where Lupe is like, this guy's a better artist than me because it's more that goes into artistry. Or this guy makes better songs than I do because it's more that goes into making a song than just like writing the good lyrics to go with the song. Honestly, when I think of Lupe Fiasco, because I'm like a huge fan and shit, like I think of him as one of the people that is kind of untouchable, honestly, as far as like putting words together. Like I don't know too many people that can fuck with him. He just is that dude. He just really is. If you don't believe me, go check out Murals and then shut the fuck up for disagreeing. But like, he just is amazing. Fucking wizard with the words. Like and the different things that he can do with the words, like speaking about two things simultaneously using the same words, like telling you two stories at the same time with the same exact words. It's crazy. Because it's stuff that you wouldn't pick up on unless you like for real, like listening for it. Like until you open that box and said, ooh, people can do this thing, you're not looking for it no more. I mean, you're not really looking for that. But then like once you realize that that's something that people do, then you start to pick up on it. You're like, oh shit, this nigga be doing that shit. This nigga be doing that shit. And you hear the people who not doing that shit. And you like, oh, this nigga can't do that. Or he doesn't know that he can do that yet. He hasn't started showing us that shit yet. And that's some of the things that I would say like gives Lupe the edge. It's like I've heard some things from Lupe with like what he can do with words that I haven't heard from Kendrick. Like I've heard Kendrick be a very excellent like technical rapper as far as like staying on the beat, coming in with all these different rhymes, coming in with nice poetic devices and then using his voice to supplement all that shit. But it's some of those other like deeper lying things that like a nigga who's writing for the sake of writing does that I don't think that he necessarily does. Yeah. So I kind of agree with Lupe. I think Kendrick is definitely the one that I'm probably gonna throw on his shit first. As far as like, I'm in the mood to hear some Kendrick. Like, but at the same time, when I'm listening for like just excellent fucking writing, that's when I can throw off some Lupe and be like, nah, I'm finna catch some gems in this motherfucker. This shit might even teach me a couple things about like what you can do with words. Rather than just like, it's gonna entertain me and it's gonna be dope to listen to the word. It's gonna be like, I'm gonna hear some new unthought of schemes and shit like that. It's crazy. I wish the nigga could break some of the shit down to me because I'm sure I'm missing things. But at the same time, it's like the things I am catching give me just enough to come back to it and be like, I fuck with this, I'm gonna hear it again. But that's pretty much my take, man. That's what I got. I'm gonna pass that over to Steve, see what he got.
Right. Steve, wait. Before you say anything, Gray just broke it down in a way that I've never, ever, because it's like with Lupe, I'm like, Kick Push was dope. You know, that's my song that I go to when I think of Lupe. But the instance of, and this is strictly from a fan standpoint, I'm a fan of Kendrick. I like Lupe. You know, I don't listen to Lupe like that, but I never thought to listen to how he's doing it. You know what I'm saying? Yes, Kendrick for me, is a better artist. Kendrick's music is what I'm gonna choose first. To be honest, I'm probably not even gonna choose to listen to Lupe, at this point. But I mean, I'm gonna go back and listen to him now that we're talking about him, like I always do. But if I had to choose, if I was going through the catalog to just listen to something, yeah, I'm gonna choose Kendrick before I choose Lupe. So I never thought about it in that sense. I appreciate that, man. So Steve, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
So before I say anything, sheesh, Greg just man, right? That's really a slam dunk, there.
Right?
So a lot of what I may say will just be reiterating. I'm trying to go down a different lane so that people that may not understand what Greg was exactly saying will possibly understand. First off, I'm gonna ask a question. I think Lupe is the better lyricist. For mostly what G just said. But when it comes to the business part, who was the better artist, then you're gonna give it to Kendrick.
Mm-hmm.
Simply because, like G said, he's gonna, he's focused on making the song that you, piece by piece and with precision and putting that together. Whereas Lupe his focus is probably lyrics and not the entire song together. I'm gonna use a couple different examples. One example I'm gonna use is Fifth. Fifth isn't the best lyricist, but we know, like G say, we know Fifth can do it. But at a certain point in his career, he realized that lyricism wasn't gonna get you the money, making that song would. And then you heard songs like, Magic Stick and what's another one? I just say Magic Stick. 21 Questions, things like that. Because he understood, like, all right, he understood that, people that you have to have a complete song. So, all right, where do I put the bridge at? Where do I put the hook? How do I tie this in together? How do I tell a story? Whereas Lupe's, and I'm not gonna say, and that's not saying that Lupe didn't make hits, because records like Kick Push, records like Hip Hop Saved My Life. What's another one? Lasers. I want to say something about Lasers. I can't think.
What's it called? Superstar.
Yeah. Like if you listen to those records, they're incredible records. Some of my favorite actually. But if you listen to them, they have such a story. And such a, and stuff is perfectly placed. But yet, if you listen to the lyrics, the lyrics are so, what's the word? I don't want to use the word complicated, but they're put together in such a way that you can hear so many different stories, yet it tells the whole story together that possibly it just goes over people's heads. And at that point, you may not want to, you may be like, Lupe's cool, he's dope. But it's so much there, so much technical stuff there, and so much that he's doing that the average listener may be like, I didn't get none of that. I don't know how y'all got that out of there. So to break it down, it kind of goes to, like what Tommy just said, it kind of goes to who you are. You know what I'm saying? And not only who you are, but who you're a fan of. Because everybody loves Kendrick. And I kind of think that's what Lupe was saying as well, is like, I don't think it's just a box, but I think it's also the fact that Kendrick is widely loved and he's very popular versus where Lupe is, I'm not going to say not as popular, but kind of he has his core audience. It's kind of like when we had the discussion about Currency. That Currency is so dope, but yet you would think he would be bigger, but he isn't. Mm-hmm. Or any other rapper out there that we're like, man, this dude was, I think we talked about this once before, we was like, man, this dude right here is so dope, but we wonder why he never got bigger. And most times it's because he didn't see it how 50 saw it. You have people who are lovers of the music and the music alone, and I want to put this out and I'm gonna put it out my way and they're gonna enjoy it. I have my core audience and I'm happy with that. Whereas you have some others where it's like, I love music, but I also understand that the music business is a business. So I need to make hits. And I'm not saying that's solely what Kendrick is, but you can tell that he understands that as well. And I'm not saying that Lupe doesn't understand that, but you can kind of see that Lupe is more focused on, I'm gonna make this music and I'm an artist, lyricist first. So when we're kind of looking at the business, I think from a business standpoint, and it's not that I guess Kendrick is more marketable, because I would kind of see Lupe as more marketable. But if we're talking about songs, I would say that I would agree with Lupe 100% that Kendrick makes the better songs because he's appealing to the masses. And that's what you can tell he wants to do. So when you hear, what's the record from Kendrick? How does it go? The one with, and with the background. What did he say in the background? I can't remember.
I know exactly what you. I don't remember the name of the song, but I know what you're talking about.
You're talking about the one with Rihanna. Eh?
Sure.
Do it one more time, man. One more time for the people in the back.
The slow record he had.
Oh, that's the one with what's that nigga's name? Is it Zane? Or maybe
someone.
It's not Zane. But Lovely. That's called Love.
Yeah. So, you know, when you see a record like that being made from Kendrick, you see that made by Kendrick, you can tell that Kendrick was, you know, that's not super lyrical song.
Is his thing.
Yeah.
That's Kendrick making a song that people going to love and appeal to. And it's not the super lyrical song. Whereas, you know,
that's more feeling based.
Yeah, more feeling based. Whereas, you know, Lupe
like tugs at the emotions and shit. Yeah,
absolutely. Just kind of how Fifth did, you know, Magic Stick and 21 Questions and things like that. It wasn't about, you know, if you thought it was lyrical enough, it was about, do you like it? Does it make you feel a way? And are you gonna pay for it? That's the end of the day. So, but I will be honest, man. Lupe is, just like G said, he's probably like, when it comes to lyrics, and I know a lot of people are probably gonna be like, nah, bro, Kendrick is more lyrical. But if you sit down and listen to Lupe and what he does and the way he can rap forward and then rap backward and then sit there and rap and tell you exactly what he said in the midst of doing the story, it's just something incredible. But at the end of the day, a lot of people, you know, don't want that too much. So
yeah.
It's like anybody got time for all that shit.
The consumer.
Yeah. Some people don't want to think. They just want to. They just want the record and want to feel it. You know.
Yeah.
So that's why, you know, hey, you know, Snap Music was probably bigger than some of Lupe's records.
Yeah.
Because they contemporaries. Right. Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. Because they just wanted to feel it. You know.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. While Steve, while you were talking, I was thinking my comparison of Lupe to the Spurs. I think the Spurs are like the most boring team, but they're so fundamental in what they're doing. That's where their success, they're able to win those championships and consistently go to the playoffs.
Man,
and you look at Kendrick, boy, I couldn't stand it. Couldn't stand it. And
I take it just a little further. I would say, I take it a little further because that was perfect. Because a lot of people hate the Spurs, but you know, if you really know what you're looking at, you'd be like, man, that's some like incredible stuff going on.
Right.
But people want the, you know, superstar stuff. But I go as far as, and it's gonna sound crazy, but I go as far as say, Lupe would be more like not the wins. Don't focus on that. But I say Lupe is more like a Floyd Mayweather, whereas Kendrick is more of, let's say, I want to say Muhammad Ali, but I don't want to put him up that far because I don't want people to get the comparison wrong. But what I mean is, Muhammad Ali was a showman.
Mm-hmm.
Even though he could do some things in that ring, but he, you know, when he get on the mic and tell you, hey, I'm the baddest in the world, blah, 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 you know, he tell you, and then he get in that ring and also show off while he picking you apart.
That's like The Rock in wrestling.
Yes, I see that with Kendrick, because Kendrick, we know Kendrick can flow.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he can show at the same time, which what I mean is he can make that record, you know? And for Mayweather, a lot of people really hate Mayweather and think he's boring, but if you look at it and see how he has perfected the art of the shoulder roll, and also figured out the name of the game, which is hit and not get hit, and you watch him work in that ring for all 15 rounds, like it's a sweet science in there that some people just don't get. And that's why I come with the comparison of Lupe is probably more of that Mayweather defensive style, being able to create a science and move and show stuff. Like, he don't really care if you enjoy it, although he wants you to enjoy it.
Yeah.
But, as far as Kendrick is like, he can do it. But at the same time, he understands that it's a business as well. You gotta give a show.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, man. You got an analogy, G?
No, I think that's perfect, man. I think that's perfect.
I was like, we need one more.
I was gonna say Kendrick is like the Lakers too, man. So the show, Lake Show.
Look at here. I ain't the Lakers. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Don't bring them up again.
Hey, man, they made it to the finals, so hey.
I don't care what they
I'm trying to see this Celtics Lakers finals. But anyway,
it's like you can't be like I don't like the idea of necessarily pitting them against each other, because I don't think that they're like in competition necessarily.
Yeah, absolutely.
Think that they do something different, which is kind of what they were saying in the article, is that like in 2020, you have so many different lanes for what is considered like a talent or successful in rap.
Yeah.
That you don't have to just do one thing. They were talking about earlier in the article how like in the early days of rap with people like Nas, it was like you had to be like the nigga who was gonna come up with the most like technically sound raps. It was like if I got to compete with like Big L, it's gonna be hard type of thing. Like, because that man is just really good at what he does.
Mm-hmm.
I think Lupe kind of came in on the tail end of that, going into a different era of like people making more of like feeling songs, like songs that made you feel something when they came out. And so it was like he had already bought into that idea before his career started.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he liked it so much, he just continued to do so. But then you get other people who come in, like Kendrick comes in a lot later than Lupe does. So at that time, he's grown up on different things. He didn't grow up where like you had to be the lyrical monster to like be successful. Nigga, Good Kid, Mad City, they was talking about Jeezy. It was like, nigga, Jeezy was a totally different beast. And that's not to say that Jeezy ain't lyrical. It's just he a different kind of lyrical.
Right.
This shit is like, he know how to hit you hard with shit. We talked about him at the top of the show. I'm high than a motherfucker right now. Yeah, in the shit right now. Like, you feel that immediately. You know what's up. You already know, okay, this is where I need to be right here. Right here. This little feeling area right here. This is where I need to be. Hype like this. But that don't mean that Jeezy can't come and give you some more lyrical stuff that's not necessarily as much feeling based either. Like, he can still come at you with something that makes you think a little bit more.
Yeah.
That just kind of plays with your mind a little bit more than just like, this is the mood I'm in and I want you to be in that same mood.
Yeah.
Man, I'm with you on that.
Oh, for sure. Like I said, man, Lupe, Kendrick, what was you finna say, Steve?
No, go ahead.
Lupe and Kendrick, man, were two people that are never pitted against each other. What it says about rap and today, for me, is honestly, man, I always think about like the question, what does lyrical mean? And for me, I'm always like, it's the storytelling. Can I see a story? Like the song Lil Wayne did, F 'em Good or something like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's a very vivid story that he's telling, and I can see it. But you do have some rappers that only thing you're hearing is the beat and how their cadence against it. You know what I'm saying? And that's the only thing that matters is the cadence against it, not what they're saying. Now you can understand, you hear everything that they're saying, but you don't care about it. But when a rapper can take you from a fire beat and telling a story that you care more about the story than the beat, you got something there for me. So, and that's how I feel like with Kendrick and like with Lupe. I just don't listen to him like that, but I used to when in his time, and I never thought of him as being this lyrical genius like you broke down, Greg. You know, I never thought of it. What's the word? I never thought of rap being a lyrical skill like that, because while you were talking, I was thinking like, damn, he's probably great at writing a letter, writing essays.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
His
I always like to think of those niggas as like grammar nerds.
Right. Exactly. And I never thought to think, okay, well, like these rappers are doing this and this and this. But in a nutshell, Lupe has everything in this small box, but that's not the only thing you need to be a top artist in the industry, in the music industry. You need that lyrical. And then for me, in these days, it's not even that you need that, because you have mumble rap where the cadence is it's the important thing. The cadence against the beat. You have the Silk the Shocker complex where you're just offbeat. You know what I'm saying? But it's dope for some reason. You know, you do have those artists, like you have a lot of Southern artists now that you can hear the Southernness in their voice, and that's accepted now. Because if you think back in the 80s, New York was the place to be when it came to hip hop. You know, the Southern, they thought of us as being country bumpkins. You know,
yeah.
So it's in 2020 now. I think the South is one of the leading areas or regions for the music industry. Period. You know, especially rap coming out of Atlanta, Florida, Texas. You know, those are some of the bigger artists, and yeah, I think the debate between those two. And for rap in today's time, you can see the spread has gotten larger, and the focus has changed from what Lupe focuses on versus the whole industry as far as being an artist. And I think that's important, because it's a certain. I think Royce the 5'9" or Freddie Gibbs, they talked about those things as well, as far as like being themselves and stuff like that. So. Yeah, that's what I got to say about it. Yeah, so I think we had a great conversation about this, man, and where lyricism, the breakdown of lyricism. I'm glad I got a chance to actually see that, and you guys broke it down a lot smoother for me to understand. You know, what comes into it, because for me, like I said, lyricism was the storytelling, how the story made me feel, and like what you guys were saying. Yeah, so that's all I got, man. You guys got anything to add before I go ahead and thank the people?
I thought we was gonna talk about, you know, how it is in 2020, but I guess we kind of got to that.
Yeah, I mean, shoot, man, you got it, man.
It's a bunch of lanes in 2020, man. There's a lot of ways to eat as a rapper in 2020, right? You don't have to compete in one category necessarily. Like, you can find yourself over here. You can find yourself making music that sounds like a Lil Uzi Vert. You could be a City Girls in Miami. You can be a Mulatto in Atlanta. Yeah. You can be a Megan Thee Stallion. You can be a Cardi B. You can be a Dom Kennedy. Like, you can be a Rhapsody. Like, you got all these different types of people in all these different places, man, doing all this different shit. You got people who kind of sing instead of rap. And then you got people who have mixed it so well that you can't really tell the difference between the two. Like niggas like Future and Young Thug, is like you can't tell the difference. You don't even know if this nigga singing or rapping.
Yeah, absolutely. And for me, I kind of, the only reason why I brought it up, because I briefly wanted to say something about how you can. One thing was, I didn't want to put them against each other, so I wanted to use analogies that didn't put, like, Mayweather will never fight Ali.
Yeah.
So I definitely want to put them in that point where you'll never see them together, because basically, and it kind of goes to what I wanted to say about the generation. It's two totally different generations. In that time of Lupe's generation, that's when it was all about lyricism. And now in this current generation, like you have both said, it is so many different lanes that people just want to hear good music. And a lot of these younger artists understand that. So what they do is they make music, good music, whether it's lyrical or not. And then, not to kind of pull Drake into it, but we've all heard that allegedly he doesn't write his raps. But as we can clearly see, people don't care. As if we were like, if we were 10, 15, maybe 20 years ago in the rap game, people probably would really care, and he'll probably be done. So, as far as rap, what rap is in 2020, I truly believe is in a good space. And I think right now is how it should be, all about the music. No one cares, man. If you're lyrical, awesome. If you just know how to make great songs, awesome. Right now, just like G said, it is a great time to be a music fan, because there's so many lanes. Just like we've seen with this weekend, we've seen so many albums drop. Yeah, just in hip hop alone, that we can have that so many different fans can listen to whoever they want. Dom coming out of the West with a whole different feel, whereas you had ASAP Ferg, with his album, which is a whole different feel, and then you have even Wayne dropping, all the way to. I'm trying to think of some other folks that dropped this week. It was just too many. Mozzie, yeah, to Mozzie. And if you listen, Dom Kenny and Mozzie are two different lanes. Yeah. But yet, there's a fan for each one of them. It's no longer like everybody gravitate to the one person. It's now so split up and divided that it's like, hey, everybody can enjoy. So right now, man, stuff is great. Yeah. Stuff is real great. It's even greater for me because the Heat going to the finals. It's over. Yeah.
I actually just saw that, man. Anyway, guys, I appreciate you for listening to another episode of the Speaker Geekers podcast. If you haven't already, please go subscribe to the channel at 3 Amp Media Studios on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram at Speaker Geekers Podcast and Facebook at Speaker Geekers Podcast. You can also follow me on Instagram at I am Tommy T the Third, and you can follow Steve at the great Steve-O Steve, and you got Greg at instantly_G, all on Instagram. Go give us a follow, like, share, comment, hit the little bell on the YouTube channel so you get the notification. And so that's all I have, guys. What do you guys have? If it's anything that I missed, now's the time to speak.
Nothing, man. You ain't missed nothing. I did want to give a shout out to my homie Everett. He got a show. Well, he got a YouTube channel. It's called Easy Del Fresco, where we did this past week. We broke down all these Kanye West records, man, like in bracket form. And I think niggas should check this shit out. It was a good discussion.
All right.
Other than that, that's it, man. That's all I got.
Okay. Steve, you good?
Hey, next episode, man, I'll put a Miami Heat logo up, boy. We back in the finals without LeBron.
I see you.
What's up?
Yeah.
I don't have.
Hey, this
is
kind of poetic, man.
Not really.
LeBron faces
but what if he beat y'all,
though? But he probably will. I'm not upset about it because he might. Shoot, that team is loaded. But hey, we got a good shot. But I'm just saying, like, the team we first won the championship, he has to face in the finals. And that's Coach, and I'm so happy for Coach Spo, because people were like, man, people dog Coach Spo for so long, but you can tell that he can really coach. And the fact that Jimmy Butler this is his first finals, like, ever. And then you look at all the young guys like Chris Hero and, so on and so forth, who are on that team, Dragic, Crowder, who now going to be in the finals. And then you look at the Lakers team, and there's a couple people over there that I want rings to get rings too, except for Bron, as long as he's in a Laker jersey. I love you, Bron, though. But, like AD and Dwight Howard and, Rondo has a ring already.
Yeah, that's my dog for sure.
Yeah, but, and a couple other folks on that team, like, you're like, oh, man, I wish Boogie could have got a ring, but yeah. But, the fact that, it's a lot of firsts for a lot of people is an amazing time. Yeah. I'm excited. Yeah. Sorry, y'all.
Yeah.
He's in the playoff. Heat game. Woo!
I also want to give a shout out, man, to Trademark TV. As Steve said in the beginning of the episode, man, he did a episode of Top 5. On Trademark TV. So shout out to Money Mark. He was actually on the podcast a few weeks ago. He did it.
Friend of the show.
Yeah. And so shout out to him, man. And go watch the video, Easy Del Fresco. Go check that out. His YouTube channel, we'll link it below. And we'll link also Trademark TV below. So
absolutely.
That's all I got, man. So I'm out, man. Peace.
Peace.
Peace out.